Hi, this is a video about our afternoon out at National Trust Wicken Fen, a place where we've been to many times before, but we've been confined to the boardwalk really because of wheelchairs and walking sticks, etc. But having the mobility scooter, we decided to try the Adventurers Trail. We couldn't do it all because halfway round there's quite a steep gradient which the scooter wouldn't deal with. But we did manage to see so much more of Wicken Fen than we've done before, and there's still so much more to explore. We had lots of interesting sightings, as you can probably see. This was when we arrived at the Baker's Fen hide, a new hide, and there were nearly 30 Konix ponies there. We saw some more later on as well, so there were near 50, I think, all in all. Doing a hard job in keeping the reeds and the grass down to a level, along with some Highland cattle which we saw as well. And then we had the most unexpected visitor, the male Peregrine Falcon. And apart from a half-hearted attempt at the ducks when it first arrived, it spent most of the time on the ground, and it seemed to be looking for something, whether it was looking for worms or I don't know what, but at first we thought there was something wrong with it. But at one point it was surrounded by crows, and one of them took a few liberties too many, and Peregrine decided to show him who was boss and scattered them all over the place. But he then came down and landed again, and I guess he probably was on the ground for around about an hour or so. Beautiful bird. There were lots of other birds there. We saw ringed plovers, and there wasn't much water on the fen, but I guess during the winter that changes considerably. Here you can see him hopping around. We'll try and break down some of these videos into smaller bits to watch. And we nearly missed this roe deer stag, who was sitting about 25 metres away from the hide. There you see a little egret taking off from him. He was in a nice sunny little spot out of the wind, and it was probably quite pleasant there. It was quite a blustery day, and when you were out of the wind and in the sun it was marvellous, but when you were in the shade and in the wind it was quite a chilly day. He seemed to be quite leisurely, just having a munch of the reeds every now and again and just walking around. And there was another smaller herd of roe deer, a much younger stag and 4 hinds to the left of the hide. We did see a couple of other odd roe deer as well on the fen, popping out of the reeds from time to time. Lovely hide, this one, lovely and comfortable, great for mobility scooters and wheelchairs, lovely nice slope to get into it. Here is the smaller herd of roe deer to the left of the hide. They seemed a little bit more on their toes than the stag. Whether something was round about. It was quite near a path, so anybody walking along it would have been heard by them. They settled down again. They did make off at one point. Here they go. Always lovely to see deer out in the wild. Not everybody's favourites, I know, in the countryside, but marvellous, magnificent creatures. You can see there the levels of the water are quite low. there, but as I say, during the winter I'm sure that is increased. And there he is, still there, having a stretch, taking in the sun. He couldn't have been that hungry. He certainly didn't make too many attempts to catch anything. Perhaps he'd just eaten. Lovely to get such a close sighting of a peregrine. And there were a few little grebes as well. I suspect a family of them in some of the channels between the pools. Some people call them dab chicks. I think this one was a young one, probably young of this year. It didn't seem to have all of its proper plumage. Then when we left the hide, we walked down a place where there were quite a lot of high hedges either side, so we were out of the wind, and there were plenty of dragonflies, lots of male and female common darters. I suspect they were on their last legs then, but then Jan spotted this marvellous southern hawker taking in the sun. We did see a few hawkers up and down the path, but as usual, travelling far too fast for us old wrinklies to get a good look at them. But this one stayed in position for quite a while. Look at those magnificent compound eyes. And here are the Highland cattle. And just before we turned further back to the visitor centre to cross the Monk's Lode, the river there, we came across these hatching water beetles. I've no idea what type they are. There are over 35 different types. Probably a common beetle, but they were just hatching out. Thanks for watching. I'll try and break it up into smaller bits so as you can see the bits that you like. Bye for now.